Hey, so Freddy fans, let me sit down here, talk about what we got going on. So if you want to make your own glove, that's pretty much what I've done here. As a fan of the movie, fan of the series, I got into this just recently, really heavily into the glove building, so that's why I figured I'd do this YouTube channel and start documenting it on video. So if you want to start doing it, yeah, I got my new Freddy sweater too. You can do it a couple of different ways. This is the way I started, which was using this thinner copper. It's easy to bend, and so there are some tips and tricks I learned along the way. If you get some copper and it's difficult to bend, you can actually heat it up with a torch a little bit, let it cool off, and that process is called annealing. That way you can use the copper a little bit, you can actually bend it easier and form it into shapes, and the more you tap on it, the more you bend it, the more you work with it, it'll start to stiffen back up again. If it does do that on you while you're doing it, you can heat it back up with a torch and continue to work. So that's something I recently figured out in working with a much heavier gauge copper than this. So you can get the templates. That's what I worked. I just printed this right off of Google. No joke. I just got this. Google searched it, printed it out on cardstock at the office supply place in town. So that's just printed that up. All right. So of course, being a big fan, I had bought the NECA glove. This is made by that company. This is the very first glove from the first movie. I think now they have what they call the Dream Warrior glove out. I think that's the newest one, which I own. I like them both. This one here I just recently got. This has been something that was on my mind. I thought about it, and of course I'm late in the game and getting them, so they're kind of scarce. They're a little hard to find. I bought this used off of Amazon, off their warehouse deals. I actually still had to pay, I think, $120 for it. But they're actually going for even more in some cases now, if you can find them. But if you can find them for even cheaper, it's pretty cool. This is better as a replica or one of those like display pieces. Okay, so if you want to build your own, here's one that I built. And I built this out of this material here. Soldered all the blades on. The key thing, now I'm not you know, this is just the beginning. This is only the second glove I've ever built, so I'm not like the most like down to every detail or anything, but it's, for me, it's fun. It's a lot of fun to build these things. It's a lot of fun to throw them together, you know. And then of course I have the licensed product right here. That's, you know, that's it for me. That does it. I have the official licensed product, and then building your own, I think, is half the fun of having the glove, is the fact you built it yourself. And the more and more you build them, the better you're gonna get. So that's what I intend to do. Keep going. Got the glove with the pull tab. It's a little hard to find the one with the leather tab here, but I have located some online. There's some supplies places, and then of course Amazon. But from what I read, this is called a driver glove of some sort. Like, I think they call them a driver glove with a ball and tape, or pull strap, or something like that. These I bought from Walmart. I actually thought about it. You know, it's such a simple design of all this. You could actually probably just attach your own, because you're gonna have to cut the palm out anyway. You could take some of that material, pretty much cut this shape out of it. Run a string or cord or whatever through it, put the little bead on the top. You could probably buy those beads from like a hobby shop right here, and you see that's what it is. And then of course just attach, you can see what NECA done. They just tied the end and attached this red bead, where it's actually, they just painted that. So yeah, there you go. You could this is, I'm left-handed, so I made this glove lefty. Of course, my favorite one is the Dream Warrior glove. Or no, I'm sorry, Dream Master. I get them all mixed up. So this is my rendition of it. The red. And then of course the finger stalls are flattened on the top and then folded up on the backs. You know, of course I'm just beginning, so that's just kind of what I came up with right there. And then of course shorten the blades, because I believe the Dream Master glove, the blades are shorter. These are not sharp. I dull them. I already learned my lesson. I stuck myself early on building them, so ever since then I kind of dull the tips a little bit with a file. So you can do that. I've done it right out of this material. I got this out of the sheet metal yard. The fellow was there. It was really nice to give me a 5 foot section of this stuff. I think it was used for like roofing or something. Now, what I've been working on recently is using copper pipe. And the copper pipe is a lot thicker. It holds its shape better. It's in fact it answered working with this answered a theory of mine. Is it easier to bend and fold this stuff because it's thicker and it holds its shape better? Yes, it is. The articulation is going to be a lot easier to manage in making these out of the thicker stuff. But I started with this, which was nice because I got this for like a couple bucks from the sheet metal yard. It was great to basically wet my feet in this adventure. But now that I got this, managed to turn out this, and you can see it works great. Now this finish, I'm actually going to strip this off. I just was messing around with it last night on the finish, how to achieve some sort of darkening and whatnot. Now you can see this is kind of glossy. The idea came to me by looking at the NECA gloves, especially on the Part 3 glove. The finish, or the aging on the copper, is really dark. Now you could achieve this by actually taking a torch and cooking wood stain onto this copper, and you can actually get some areas that are darkened up. Now use a lighter wood stain, I recommend, because as you're torching it, it's going to get darker and darker, and that's what you want. Now I'm not really, the reason I'm not happy with this is because now it puts a coating on the copper, and it prevents it from, I think it's going to prevent it from aging naturally, which that's what I eventually want it to look like. You can do the aging process is, of course, there's a lot of kept secrets about it and everything, but and I've tried everything on the internet. I've tried a lot of different things that just never worked out. That when you just Google search how to oxidize copper, what I found out is you just torch it. Take a torch and just kind of go over it a couple of times, and you will actually achieve this beautiful patinaed brown kind of color. You will achieve it naturally by doing that. So anyway, this is just a quick little talk on it. I'll do future videos on how to put these together as I get a little bit better on it, so I can explain it to you guys better, and so you can do one yourself. Thanks for watching.